This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Too many meatheads who are cops, Troy Ortiz. Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. Let me give it in Latin terms, especially Cubans will understand. El fuertecito que se cree muy guapo y quiere ser un policía. You know what I'm saying? Right? The guy that does a couple weights, shoots up a little bit psychotic, right? Likes to get into fights, Mr. Aggressive. Then all of a sudden you see he's signing up to be in the Army or he wants to be a cop. And you're like, come on, man. I mean, come on. You all know it. We all know it. We see it in all our neighborhoods. There's one or two of those guys that they become cops and you're like, oh, yeah, you're a cop? Oh, yeah, hey, congratulations, man. Oh, well, yeah. Right? You walk away, it's like, wow, that guy's a cop? Holy crap.
What's your beat? Let me know. I know not to go there.
Ese tipo está loco. You know, that's, you've said it. Guaranteed. I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for Latin neighborhoods in South Florida. Okay, that's all I can say. Can't speak for the black neighborhoods. Can't speak for the Anglo neighborhoods. Can't do that. But I can speak for the Latin neighborhoods. Okay? And anybody that grew up in a Latin neighborhood, you grew up and one of your friends became a cop, and you were like, wow, damn, that guy's a cop? You said it. I think it's a rite of passage for most Hispanics at one point or another in their lives. They said, he became a cop? That's happened in every family. Guaranteed. I'm telling you. Can't speak for Anglos. Can't speak for the black community. I can only speak for Hispanics because I've seen enough of them. I've been in enough of those conversations, whether I said it or I saw another Hispanic say it, that I didn't know the guy, but I knew this guy, and he goes, damn, I can't believe that guy became a cop. So think about it. Think about the times that you've heard that throughout your life, and then now we see all these issues with cops all across the country. That means that it didn't just happen in the Hispanic communities.
No, don't feel alone there. Not at all.
I'm just saying, I can't speak for all you other folks out there, okay? But I'm going to go out on a limb and talk for the Hispanics. And I can guarantee you that in our conversations, every once in a while, there was that one dude that was like, that guy became a cop.
Well, even maybe not friends, but hanging out, this, that, friends of friends, we're big, good, and you find out, that guy's a cop?
Yeah.
Are you, what? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Oh, God help us.
Yep.
That scenario
so
thrown in, everybody's come across.
So if it's happened to all of you out there, which I believe it's happened to all of you at one point or another in your lives, how do we sit back now and say, how come we have a problem with our cops? we can't say that because we've all know about one that polluted the system. You know what I mean? It's a lot like the Army, the Navy, whatever. You know that kid that got in trouble all the time and then he left to the Army. And you're like, well, okay. Because you know what? Remember what the old way of when you were growing up and if your dad felt you had no hope and he couldn't straighten you out, the Army was the last resort. That was like like the second line of defense in fatherhood. Like if your father failed, the Army would then pick up the baton after that. And if the Army couldn't straighten out your ass, then you were done. You probably ended up in jail and you were, whatever.
Well, depending on the time in history, either go to jail or go in the Army.
Right.
Okay, there was also that option.
Right. And if you end up in jail, whatever race you are, your race will be protesting that, you were fighting with somebody else about whatever, being a gang member, a mobster, drug dealer.
I just have to say, this started with meathead comment and whatnot. By the way, Mike Stivic is very offended.
Just like with NFL owners and organizations, it starts at the top. Some more of these police departments, these bad cops need to be dealt with. Game over, 954. Ha. 2 guys from my high school football team became cops, not the smart, thoughtful, calm ones. Exactly. Ray Grulon says, truth, Big O. Same thoughts. Mira, eres un policía, Dios mío. I grew up in a blue-collar white neighborhood, and I saw the same thing. That guy in law enforcement? Exactly. We all say it. Every one of us say it at one point or another. Troy Ortiz says, Big O, look up what Chris Rock says about bad cops being bad apples. Oh, we played it yesterday, dude. You weren't listening to the show? We're on top of it, man. Game over, 954. Even Jocko was saying how there's some Navy SEALs that game buds and everyone looks like, oh, no, now he's on the teams. Yeah, exactly. I had a room dog in the Army, and for him, it was Army or jail, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's the thinking nowadays, but if you're a 40, 50, 70, 80-year-old, 40 and on, if you're older than 40, that was the prevailing thought back in the day. If you didn't have a lot of hope left, you weren't going to find a professional career, you couldn't find a real job, go in the Army. Your dad couldn't figure you out, you kept getting in trouble, they'd sign you up in the Army. That's kind of the way we used to ship off, I don't know how many future criminals we shipped off to the Army. And we do this in policing, we do the same thing. Think about that. Now that I brought it up, you think about that, and now you wonder, okay, no wonder our police system is all screwed up. I remember guys that shouldn't be cops.
Well, you remember seeing the documentaries, the Cocaine Cowboy years in the 80s down here with all the murder. They were hiring whoever they could get.
Yeah. I'm disgusted in Cubans. They weren't complaining about Cocaine Cowboys. What happened with all you Cubans out there? Come on. We should have been protesting. Drug dealers killing drug dealers. We should be joining the black community worried about criminals killing criminals. We should join the Colombian community worried about drug dealers killing drug dealers. Yeah, no, you should be out there protesting that. Those are some doozies, I tell you. Where did you find that Chris Rock sound, though? YouTube. You know what I'll do? If you want, I'll post it on Twitter. Is that cool? I can do that. I can post it on my Twitter page. We can do that, and you guys can check it out there if you want. We can replay it. You got it there? Yeah, we can replay. What the hell? There's some people that weren't listening yesterday. Here's Chris Rock on cops and bad apples, okay? So Bill's going to find the soundbite for us from yesterday. It's funny and extremely truthful, right? Because that's what comedians are. They tell you the truth. They try to make light of the truth so we can laugh a little bit about it. But deep down inside, there's a lot of honesty that's going on.
The thing that makes it funny is by the way, it applies.
That's and that's what great comedy is all about. Let me tell you, great comedy is when you walk that fine line that you're, in a way, educating or enlightening, or at least addressing, and then at the same time you're entertaining.
You touch a nerve.
Yeah,
it strikes.
Because there's truth. There's truth to it.
Right.
And so what you're going to hear from Chris Rock talking about bad cops and bad apples, it is so true. Go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing with the cops, though. I mean, being a cop's a hard job, man. It's a hard fucking job, man. I mean, honestly, I don't think they pay cops enough. I don't think they pay police enough. And you get what you pay for. But here's the thing. Innocent black man, they always say the same thing. It's like, well, it's not most cops. It's just a few bad apples. It's just a few bad apples. Bad apple. That's a lovely name for murderer. It's like, how'd they get that one? Bad apple. That almost sounds nice. I mean, I've had a bad apple. It was tart, but it didn't choke me out. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know it's hard being a cop. I know it's hard. I know that shit's dangerous. I know it is, okay? But some jobs can't have bad apples, okay? Some jobs, everybody gotta be good. Like pilots. You know? American Airlines can't be like, you know, most of our pilots like to land. We just got a few bad apples that like to crash in the mountains. Please bear with us.
There you go. And he's 1,000% right. You know? And that's great comedy. Great comedy is when there's some truth there. And, you know, he's still making you laugh, but he's making you think. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's kind of the idea. It's like, hey, listen, just a couple minutes ago, we made you think. Right? Not a lot of, I don't think anybody brings this up, what I brought up. That if you think about your history in your life, there's always that person that became a cop, and you're like, that guy's a cop? And then, you know, years later now, we're watching all this brutality, everything going on, and then we wonder why the system's all screwed up. All you got to do is remember your history. At one point or another, you know somebody that screwed up the cop system because they became a cop. And you knew in your heart that that guy had no business being a cop. Never happened to me with a woman, but with a guy, a couple times. And I was like, damn, that guy's a cop? Yeah. Not good. Not no good, man. That guy's a cop? Oh, good.
You know what? Hearing Chris Rock, man, miss his show. It's the show he used to have on HBO. And if you remember, his DJ was Grandmaster Flash.
Oh, yes, definitely. No doubt. No doubt about that.